It is here, the final episode. So sad.
We're not gonna get out of this one, are we?
Cybermen are coming. Who I am, it's where I stand, it's where I fall.
I will never stand with the Doctor!
Without hope, without witness, without reward, stand with me. It's all I've ever wanted.
Doctor Who, the series finale, on BBC One.
Hi guys, Joshua Lowy here. Welcome to my thoughts on the final episode, the series finale of Doctor Who Series 10, Episode 12, The Doctor Falls. Oh boy. So once again, going to be full of spoilers, but non-spoilery. This now is my favourite episode. Last week it was the last episode, but you know what? If we're going to combine the two, it's all my... the two-parter is my favourite episode. It's great. It's just great. It's everything that you probably love about Doctor Who, especially if you love the Doctor himself, if you love the Master, if you love the Cybermen, then you'll pretty much love this episode. I know it's not the Dalek finale that you probably all don't want because we've seen them a lot. But at least we saw them once in this series. You gotta have the Daleks in there once or twice. That's besides the point. Besides, cool episode, best one, A+. Cool, you redeemed yourself. Can't wait for Christmas. Now let's get into spoilers, shall we? Holy shit, this episode starts off pretty... I don't want to say predictable, because, okay, so we see, like, the Master and Missy have captured the Doctor after beating the shit out of him. Yeah, they beat the shit out of the Master, and the Doctor, like, grapple. Missy hits the Doctor with her umbrella. Nardole runs away. I'll explain why later. And then we see the Doctor just tied up to a chair, and, like, the Doctor and Missy dancing and talking, and Master's asking, like, so you're my future generation. When do I become a woman? And she's like, I'm not sure. And then, like, the Doctor is like, oh, do you need a moment alone? Which, in this case, would actually be true. But, it's just cool back and forths and all that between the Doctor and the Master in these episodes. We get explanation in which Master this is. This is the Master that helped the Doctor last time, and he was on Gallifrey. Basically what we're told is, he was on Gallifrey, they cured him of his disease, and, you know, because the drum beat in all his head and all that, and then they unanimously kicked him out of Gallifrey, or he just left. So yeah, that explains it, I suppose. And then he came to here, and he has his own TARDIS again, so yeah, the Master has a TARDIS again. Still not a good pilot though, because apparently he accidentally crash-landed, materialized, crashed onto the ship, and then took over basically, not the entire ship, but like the bottom ship. And, like, was converted and all that. He was on a throne, but then, like, he got overthrown or whatever, and then had to go into hiding. So, yeah, the Master just was in disguise, and then he met Bill. Can I just say, it is great to see John Sim again for, like, the entire episode. Seeing him, I mean, he was in the entirety of last episode, but in this episode he is truly himself, because he was in disguise in the last episode. But in this one, it's like he never stopped being the Master, and it's... perfect. You hate him for the right reasons, and you hate him because you love him. I mean, he doesn't do anything heroic. He is not the Doctor. He is the Master, and I like that. He is different. He is definitely different from Missy. I mean, Missy's cool. I love Missy. She's a laugh and all that, but she's not the Master anymore. And we're getting to that later on in the episode. So yeah, and again, Missy did a good job, and the Doctor did a pretty good job as well. We don't want to go into characters right now. Let's just continue on. Bill is a Cyberman, as you all know, and she just stands in the back when the Doctor is talking to the two Masters. And then, like, the Cybermen converge onto the Time Lords because the Doctor did he reversed the polarity of the neutron flow. He doesn't say that, but I wanted him to. But basically just added another thing that's technically a human, just replace one heart with two hearts, and there you go. They're gonna die. And so, like, we see the Master using his laser screwdriver, which is funny because I didn't know he still had that after the end of time, because the last time didn't that get destroyed? No, it got knocked away when we last saw it in Last of the Time Lords. I think it's that episode, right? Yeah, it's that episode. And then like Missy's using her umbrella screwdriver. I'm gonna call it that because I don't think they've really called it anything. And like the doctor, it's like, oh, no, and the master's like, I don't need your help. I can do this all day. We can escape. And he's like, oh, please knock yourself out. Then Missy knocks the master out. Your wish is my command. And it's like, I've been on your side the entire time. And the doctor's like, for real? Are you sure? Why? And she's like, I don't know. It's complicated. It's like, okay, you're getting through to her. She is on your side. And I really like that. The Master's actually helping out the Doctor, but also fighting against the Doctor. Well, at least for the opening of the episode. Because then for like the rest of the episode, the Master is basically on the Doctor's side. Not helping him out, but like helping him out for his own benefits. And like Missy's there on both sides, more or less. Because with her other self there, she's influenced. I think she just says that for an excuse and why she's helping the Doctor. And so she doesn't say why, really. But Bill, poor Bill. Bill has her consciousness and all of that, but she is physically a Cyberman, but mentally she's still Bill Potts. But like, from her perspective, she is, but like to everyone else, she's a Cyberman. She has the Cyberman voice, the Mondasian Cyberman voice, the original Cyberman voice. And it goes back and forth. I don't know which. I like to see Bill again because me personally, I would have liked to seen more from Cyber Bill. I mean, we saw a lot from her, but like maybe have the episode have her completely as a Cyberman. Well, not completely, but like she's still Bill Potts, but she's a Cyberman, but she just speaks with a Cyberman voice, and you just see her as that. And then like at the end of the episode, we get the payoff and seeing Bill human again. But, you know, this is alright as well, but, you know, I'm just saying. So, like, they're on this farm now, and, like, with a bunch of civilians. Surprisingly, none of these civilians die. At least not what I've seen, anyway. In fact, no side character is killed. At all. Unless you count the Cybermen as side characters, I just call them side enemies. But you know what? Okay, they're the main enemies. But, like, they don't cause the Doctor false for nothing, man. This is an emotional episode, an emotional closure for it's not the last time we're going to see the 12th Doctor, because we all know, you've heard the news and you probably saw the episode right now that he's coming back with Christmas special, but we'll get to that in a minute. Well, a lot of stuff happens, like the Doctor walks up with a stick now, like, there's Doctor. And by the way, I knew, like, days ago, I mentioned this on the Broken Nerd broadcast briefly. We talked about it. If you want to see that episode, it's actually up right now, but check it out, link in the description. We talked about the first Doctor for a bit, because I knew, like, 2 days ago, 3 days ago now, I think, that the first Doctor was going to be in the Christmas special, because I heard news about it from some guy, I can't remember his name, I can't remember what the video era, but I definitely remember that. But we'll get into the first Doctor as well. Man, I'm just jumping all over the place today. So nothing else is different. Hey! So, Nardole is a badass in this episode, actually, because he's just cool. I don't know, I can't explain it really. He's just cool. He's just going around, you know, with like, he's basically became like a general or something. Well, not a general, like, basically took in overall command of these civilians to like make defenses, what spots to shoot and all that. And remember that shot from the trailer where he picks up a gun and we go, pooh! And then like, yeah, that was an awesome moment. And like the Doctor's overall in command, but Nardole is basically in command when the Doctor's dealing with other stuff. So it's cool that Nardole takes a leadership role and badass, but still pretty much Nardole when you get down to it. And he has an emotional send-off as well. So it comes to the final battle, the Cybermen are coming, and we see like old Cybermen, we see like the original ones, we see the first reboot New Who Cybermen, the parallel Cybermen. I don't think they're the parallel ones. I think, unless they could be just like our Cybermen, the original Cybermen from this universe, just converted into that version of it, and then we see like the last version that we saw the Cybermen at when we saw them for the first time when Smith was in his 7th series, Series 7, Part 2. We have those designs, so it's good to see that again. Yeah, and then it all comes to a head. I mean, the Master has been... Missy has been talking to the Master and all that, and like, they've been trying to figure out how to get the Master's TARDIS working again. And then, like, there's a funny scene. she grabs him and she's like, you know, something funny happened to me. I met this scary lady and she just grabbed me and shoved me against the wall, and she's doing the same thing to the Master, and she's like, and she says to always remember to like keep a dematerialization circuit on you or whatever, or keep one spare. And she says, I don't remember what happened to her, but I think her advice really paid off, and then took out the circuit. I'm going to say that because dematerialization circuit. I can't say that 3 times fast. Dematerialization circuit. Fuck. And like, the Master's like, you know, you get that from thanks to me, right? Like, you know, so Missy's like, yeah. And then and he's like, is it wrong that I kind of? And she's like, yes, it is. I'm like, ew. We have a main kid character, but kind of a sidekick character. She wasn't annoying me. She was pretty good. It wasn't really focused on her. It was still focused on where it was supposed to be. Focused on the Doctor and the other characters. We all basically came here to see the Doctor do Doctor stuff. We came here to see the 2 Masters interact, because it's really the first time we've seen 2 Masters on the same screen on TV. I mean, we've seen it in books, comic books, and I think we've also seen it, heard it anyway in audiobooks, but we've never seen it on TV until today. History is made. Multiple Master crossover. And then it just comes down to the final battle. The Master bails, because he's the Master, and the Doctor goes into this really impassioned speech about why he does what he does, and saying basically, yeah, I'm gonna die, I'm cool with that. And then it's a cool speech. To really go watch the episode to see what he says, because I can't really remember. But the Master's response is like, you see this face? This is the face. Did not hear a word and what you just said. And then he walks off, and I'm like, fuck you, Master. God, I love you. And then like, and then Missy's like, yeah, sorry, but thanks for trying though. And then she walks off. Then we get to like the first of the emotional scenes. If Bill being a Cyberman wasn't enough to make you, I'm gonna admit, I wish I teared up in some of these scenes, but it's like, I was just like confused a wee bit, and I predicted a stuff. Sorry, mind's all over the place. Can't have a brain fart right now. Let's continue. So like we see the Master and Missy going to make their escape to the Master's TARDIS, and she's like, oh, come here, and like, hug, oh, stab! And then she just outright stabs the Master and basically kills him, so that he can become her, or become some other version of the Master, because it's not really said that he regenerates into her. That's what they're saying, I think. And then like, she helps him to the elevator so he can escape. And then like, he's like, well, why are you doing this? And she's like, well, because the Doctor is right. We all knew that we would come to this. It's time to stop going against the Doctor and just stand with the Doctor. And the Master's like, no, Missy, no. I will never stand with the Doctor. And then, like, when Missy's walking away, he just shoots her with this laser screwdriver, killing her. And then, like, they share in this last laugh, and, like, the Master's like, you see, Missy? We were always heading for this. Shooting ourselves in the back. That's the way the Master dies. And then the Master's, then he closes the elevator and it goes down, and then we see him laugh more, and, like, Missy just dies. And she was laughing as well, because I'm guessing she really found that funny and being very sincere in that. But for now, the Master is dead. Now, is she going to stay dead forever, or is the Master going to stay dead forever? No. It's like saying the Daleks will stay dead forever at the end of Journey's End. That didn't happen. The same thing with Davros. Is he dead? No. All these guys will return because it's a time travel show, and plus Doctor Who has known to break its own rules. This Master saying, like, don't even bother regenerating it, was a direct hit. We can just like, well, science bubble, and here she is, she regenerated. Because unfortunately the actress who plays Missy is leaving. So thank you for giving us one of the greatest versions of the Master. Same thing with the Master. I have no favorite Master. I love them all equally. It's the same thing with the Doctor. I don't know. I'm just that kind of guy. So yeah, then it also comes down to the final battle after Nardil has a good send off as well. Nothing bad ever happened to Nardil during this series, I think. Besides, possibly nearly suffocating and dying in the Pyramid episode. But he was okay. That was the only thing that happened. He has an emotional goodbye with the Doctor, and then he leads all the civilians out to safety. And then we just see the Doctor in like blowing up Cybermen left to right. I've never seen so many Cybermen do flips in the air. That was both hilarious and awesome. And we don't really see Bill do much action, but like a few times in the episode, she uses like one of the Cybermen's head beam to like shoot stuff, like shoot holes in walls, shoots other Cybermen. We don't really see that in the final battle. We just see the Doctor going around with his screwdriver, just boom, 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 and then like he finally gets hit in the back by a Cyberman, and then it's like, I'm the Doctor, and then like the Cyberman like, doctors are not required, and then he's so you remember this. I'm not a Doctor, I am the Doctor, the original, you might say. I want you to guess what story that's from and where it made its first appearance. I want you guys to guess that. It comes back full circle at the end. Don't know why I keep on doing this. Then, like, the Doctor, like, in his last breath, activates a screwdriver again and just blows up the entire area full of Cybermen, basically destroying this entire level on that they're on. And the only person walking around is Bill, and she finds the Doctor dead. I think that at that moment the Doctor is dead. That's the deadest he's ever been. No generation. Then like Cyber Bill begins to cry and all that, and then an old friend returns from the first episode of this series. Heather returns, and to be honest, I did not predict that. The only thing that I predicted that Missy was either going to stay good and hang out with the Doctor, turn evil and terrorize the galaxy, or die. I got it right with the third one. So, yay me. Or boo on me, because that means she's dead and fuck. The Doctor was going to regenerate, which inevitably he is. He doesn't regenerate in this episode, don't worry. We still get him for one more story. So yeah, she comes back. That was the only thing I didn't predict. I didn't expect her to come back. Yeah, she just walked, because then Belle's like in a human form, and then like Heather just walks up to her and just kisses her. I was like, "Aw, that's cute." And I don't know if it's actually the creature or it's actually her that's talking. I'm gonna say it's actually her, and she's like, or maybe it's the mesh of the two. They've merged into one, and it's both like, "Oh, I'm both Heather, and I am both the pilot. We are both one, so really you're talking to her, but you're also talking to the pilot." And then like they bring the Doctor back to his TARDIS to lay him there, because that's the only place where basically he'd be buried at, only it's not Trenzalore. And then Bill says her final goodbyes because she wants to go with her Heather. So they kind of... That's the moment when I turned to my brother and went, did they just Clara her death? If you don't know what I mean by that, at the end of Series 9, Clara died, but then the Doctor did some time travel stuff, and then but she's still dead, but she now has her own TARDIS and is just traveling the galaxy, so she's dead, but she's not dead. Same thing here, Bill is dead, but not dead. So this happened ever since they killed off Amy and Rory. By killed off, I mean just put them back in time. It was a happy ending still, but it's also kind of a sad ending as well. They died, but they were together. Clara is dead, but still alive, technically, out there with her time machine, and Bill is alive, and she just, says her final goodbyes to the Doctor. A tear lands on his forehead, and then she's like, "Tears bring hope," or something like that, and the same thing the Doctor said when Cyber Bill was crying. Then she leaves with her, and then the Doctor awakens, and then has this kind of a pre-regeneration crisis when he goes and Funny thing happened. We were watching the episode. The audio cut out, and all we could hear was the music, and the Doctor just doing this. The audio cut out, and we could not hear what he was saying. Luckily, I had YouTube. I saw what he watched, and then when I watched it today, because it's a Sunday today, hopefully it gets uploaded today. I finally heard what he was saying, and I was like, "Holy shit, he's melting down." Then he starts, his hands start to glow again. He was about to regenerate, and he's like, "No, no," and then he just doesn't regenerate, and just basically argues with the TARDIS, because the TARDIS brings him somewhere, we don't know where it is yet. And he's just like, "I'm not going to change. I am tired of changing my face and just being a totally different person. Whatever you brought me, it won't change my mind. I am not going to change." Then we get that scene from last episode in the opening, where we see him going out into the snow and regenerating, only he just sticks his hands in the snow and it stops the regeneration. And he's like, "I will not change." And then we hear this voice. Well, I eventually heard this voice today. I mean, it was still a great surprise, because you could see this figure walking with a hat and like a cloak. Even though I couldn't hear his voice, I knew instantly who this was, especially knowing that this guy was going to be in the Christmas special. The Doctor meets the first Doctor, and then what he says, when I finally heard it, because our Doctor's like, 12th Doctor's like, "Who are you? I'm the Doctor." And then like the first Doctor's like, "The Doctor? No, sir. You may be a Doctor, but I am the Doctor. The original, you might say." And he does the whole first Doctor thing. And then the episode ends, and they're like, "Oh yes! First is meeting, last, latest, Capaldi, Doctor." And it's like, yeah, that's a good... And then the series ends, and boom, big bada boom, it's the series finale. We won't have any more Doctor Who episodes until Christmas. Christmas. It's sad, It's like it's like Doctor Who just started up again yesterday, especially when. Though it might be a long hiatus, or not too long actually. Got like 4 or 5 months to wait to Christmas, so that's not too long really. It's shorter than it was in 2016. Though, I will say, I have an idea on what BBC could do in the meantime. I mean, they probably won't, because I think they should do a second series on Class in between the series. And my brother agreed with this, and like this is actually a really good series. Not perfect by any means, but it wasn't really advertised well either. So I'm not sure a lot of people saw it, but I saw it and I liked it because it was the only Doctor Who series we had last year. Only 8 episodes, so it's not like 12 or 13. So go check it out if you've got the time. It's on BBC iPlayer still, and it's on. Not on Netflix or anything, so if you see it laying around, go get it. It's actually a pretty good, decent series. It feels like a Doctor Who series, but it feels like something different altogether, so go get it. But a second series would be cool, at least to hold us over until Doctor Who comes back with Christmas. And then, like, every time Doctor Who goes on break, we have this in between. Then when this has a break, Doctor Who comes back. I think that's a good thing. I still really want that unit show, though, because God, you can make a show on the school that Doctor Who started at, or his granddaughter was at, but you can't do a show all about UNIT. You can make like a little short thing here, or a movie thing, but you can't make a TV series out of that. Bullshit! You can. You can have that and Class. Class can be like Our Sarah Jane, but only like this. Oh. And then like we can have UNIT as like our grown-up show and all that. Just, I don't know, just something to hold us over. But seriously, Series 2 of Class, I wouldn't mind it if they actually made it. For when Doctor Who's on break, and UNIT show would be awesome. But I'm off topic right now. This was a cool episode, this was a cool series. I'm going to do, when Series 10 Part 2 comes out, I'm going to do my overall thoughts on Series 10. And go into like, characters, music design and all that, because it's basically just been about the episodes and like that. And maybe like I'll go in depth and see which one's my favorite episodes and all that. And yeah, but that's a video for another time. But this was an awesome episode, man. Go check it out. It's on BBC iPlayer. It should be out on DVD and Blu-ray. it's coming up this month. I can't remember when exactly, but it is coming out, so look out for that. So yeah, before I ramble on even further, because we're already... Oh god, we're 25 minutes in. How the fuck did that happen? Post a comment down below, tell me what you thought about this episode, and can you not wait to see what's to happen in the Christmas special, because we have no idea what the title of the Christmas special is going to be, but you know, soon enough and all that. And do you guys want Class Series 2 to hold us over until Doctor Who comes back, and do you want that unit show as well? And if you want to know my thoughts on anything else, let me know down below as well. Leave a like, and of course, subscribe to me. I'm Joshua Laurie, good day and good night. Take care. Because they're on the ship, right, and they're trying to get away from the black hole on reverse, but and, like, at the front of the ship the time goes slower, but in the back of the ship the time runs faster. So Bell's been down at the bottom where she's been hanging out with this guy for basically years. I want to say 10 years. After the TARDIS to go see the Christmas special.